What if the difference between where you are today and the life you dream of is not luck, not chance, but a simple shift in thought? Imagine standing at the edge of a door that hides your greatest potential, and the only key is your belief. How many dreams have died not because they were impossible, but because someone stopped believing? What if wealth, in every form, starts in the invisible world of your mind? Today, I invite you on a journey to unlock the secrets that turned ordinary people into extraordinary successes. Are you ready to think and grow rich? Desire is the spark that ignites the fire of achievement, the invisible force that separates those who dream from those who live their dreams. Every great invention, every remarkable success, every breakthrough in history has been born from a burning desire in someone's heart. Desire is not just wishing. Wishing is weak and fleeting, but desire is strong, persistent, and unshakable. It becomes an obsession that refuses to be silenced, a voice within that whispers in the night and calls you to rise each morning with purpose. Without desire, even the most talented person remains stagnant, because talent without fuel goes nowhere. But with desire, even ordinary individuals achieve extraordinary things. Desire transforms obstacles into stepping stones, setbacks into lessons, and failures into stepping stools toward victory. It builds resilience because when your desire is strong enough, you do not see difficulties as reasons to quit. You see them as challenges to conquer. Desire has a magnetic quality. It attracts the right ideas, people, and opportunities into your life, aligning circumstances with your inner fire. It keeps you focused when distractions try to steal your attention, and it pushes you forward when everything around you says stop. Every achievement begins with the seed of desire planted deep in the soil of the mind, and the stronger you nurture that seed, the bigger it grows, shaping your actions, fueling your decisions, and driving your determination. When desire burns hot enough, it consumes doubt, fear, and hesitation, leaving only clarity and relentless drive. It is the birthplace of ambition, the energy of persistence, and the foundation of wealth, success, and greatness in every field of life. A burning goal is more than just an idea written on paper. It is a force that pulls you forward with energy you didn't even know you had. When a goal burns inside you, it becomes a vision that you cannot ignore, a vision that keeps you awake at night and wakes you up in the morning with purpose. Momentum is created when your mind and heart are fixed on something so powerful that every action, every choice, every step you take naturally aligns with that goal. The stronger the fire of your goal, the less room there is for hesitation or doubt, because the energy of desire transforms into consistent forward motion. Small steps turn into great leaps when powered by the intensity of a burning goal, and obstacles lose their power to stop you. Even when challenges appear, the momentum you have built carries you through, because you are no longer driven by fleeting motivation but by deep commitment. A burning goal creates a sense of urgency, a feeling that waiting is not an option and quitting is not possible. It sharpens your focus, eliminating distractions, and it strengthens your will to keep pressing on no matter the circumstances. The fire within transforms effort into persistence and persistence into progress. With every little success, momentum grows stronger, creating a cycle of confidence and action that builds upon itself. The deeper your passion and the clearer your vision, the more unstoppable you become, because momentum gathers energy with each forward step, and soon nothing can hold you back from the destination that once seemed far away but now feels inevitable. Faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the force that transforms invisible thoughts into tangible outcomes. Every invention, every achievement, every masterpiece was once only an idea in someone's mind, and it was faith that gave that idea life. Faith is more than hope. It is certainty in advance, a conviction that what you desire already exists in potential form and is waiting to manifest. When you hold faith in your heart, you act with confidence even before evidence appears, and that confidence itself attracts the very circumstances you need. Faith fuels persistence because when setbacks come, You do not view them as the end. Instead, you see them as temporary detours on the road to success. It allows you to keep moving when logic says stop, to believe in opportunities before they appear, and to maintain strength when results are not yet visible. Faith sharpens your focus, aligning your thoughts and emotions with your goals, creating an unbreakable connection between your vision and your actions. It builds resilience because when you truly believe, doubt cannot take root and fear loses its grip. Faith is not passive. It inspires you to take bold steps, to commit fully, and to act as though success is inevitable. Over time, this mindset creates a magnetic field that draws people, resources, and ideas into your life, turning imagination into reality. The world responds to faith because faith generates energy, and that energy becomes visible results. Autosuggestion is the process of feeding your mind with intentional thoughts until they take root and shape your reality. It is the practice of telling yourself again and again what you want to become true until your subconscious accepts it as fact. The mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant in it, whether positive or negative, eventually grows into action and results. Autosuggestion allows you to take control of that soil, deliberately sowing seeds of success, confidence, and abundance. By affirming your goals daily, by repeating empowering statements with emotion and conviction, you train your inner world to align with the outcomes you desire. Over time, these repeated thoughts bypass doubt and become automatic beliefs, and beliefs create behavior. When your mind believes in your potential, you act differently, speak differently, and carry yourself with greater certainty. Autosuggestion transforms "I can't" into "I will," and that change in self-perception is the foundation of achievement. It works because the subconscious cannot distinguish between imagination and reality. It accepts what it is consistently told, and then it seeks to prove it true through your actions and decisions. This is why the words you speak to yourself matter more than the opinions of others. When you consistently feed your mind with visions of success, strength, and possibility, your subconscious begins to construct patterns that make those visions real. Autosuggestion is not magic. It is mental conditioning that reshapes your beliefs until belief fuels action, and action produces results. It is the art of believing before achieving, and in that belief lies the power to unlock your greatest potential. Specialized knowledge is the tool that transforms potential into power, because while general knowledge gives you breadth, it is focus that creates impact. A person may know a little about everything, but unless that knowledge is applied in a specific direction, it rarely produces significant results. Specialized knowledge, however, channels information into skill, mastery, and expertise, making it highly valuable in the marketplace and in life. It is the difference between someone who studies broadly and someone who takes one area and digs deep enough to discover hidden treasures that others overlook. Specialized knowledge allows you to solve problems others cannot, to bring unique solutions that create opportunities and wealth. It gives you authority, credibility, and influence because people trust those who know their craft thoroughly. General knowledge may win conversations, but specialized knowledge wins contracts, careers, and fortunes. When you refine your skills in one area and continuously expand your expertise, you become indispensable, and with that comes power. Specialized knowledge also multiplies when applied in collaboration, combined with imagination, planning, and persistence. It becomes the foundation of success. It separates the average from the extraordinary, because depth always outshines shallowness when it comes to real achievement. The most successful people in history were not those who knew everything about everything, but those who mastered one domain so thoroughly that they left a legacy. Specialized knowledge, applied with purpose, allows you to stand out, to create wealth, and to serve at the highest level. It is not about knowing more than everyone else. It is about knowing something so well that it becomes your advantage, your strength, and your pathway to greatness. Imagination is the inner workshop where every dream, invention, And breakthrough first takes shape before it becomes reality. It is the ability to see beyond what currently exists, to picture possibilities that have not yet appeared in the physical world. Every skyscraper, every technological marvel, every business empire was once just an image in someone's mind. Imagination allows you to break free from limitations, to step outside the boundaries of what others call possible, and to design a future that only you can see. It is the creative engine that transforms abstract ideas into concrete visions, providing the blueprint for achievement. When you engage your imagination, you are rehearsing success in advance, building mental pictures that guide your thoughts, decisions, and actions toward making them real. Imagination works hand in hand with desire, giving shape and direction to the burning goals within you. It also fuels innovation, helping you find solutions where logic sees only barriers. The greatest leaders and creators of history were not necessarily the most educated, but they possessed powerful imaginations that allowed them to visualize what others could not. The more you nurture your imagination with belief, persistence, and focused thought, the more powerful it becomes. Your mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined vision and reality, so when you consistently picture success, your actions begin to align with that image. Imagination is not fantasy, it is creation in its earliest stage, the hidden workshop where dreams are drafted before they are built. It is the most powerful tool you possess, because everything you can see, touch, or hold today began in the invisible realm of someone's imagination. Organized planning is the bridge that carries an idea from the realm of thought into the reality of achievement. A brilliant idea without structure often fades away, but when backed by a clear plan, it becomes a powerful force for progress. Planning gives direction to desire and order to imagination, creating a roadmap that shows not only where you are going, but also how to get there. It transforms vague intentions into actionable steps, making success less about chance and more about deliberate effort. Organized planning requires clarity of purpose, specific goals, and the discipline to outline each stage of the journey. It allows you to anticipate challenges, prepare resources, and establish timelines that keep you accountable. Without organization, even the strongest ambition can scatter in too many directions, but with a plan, your energy is concentrated and effective. Planning also brings confidence, because when you know your steps, uncertainty loses its grip. Each action becomes meaningful, each decision aligned with your bigger vision. Organized planning is not rigid, it is adaptable, capable of adjusting to new information and unforeseen obstacles while keeping the ultimate goal in sight. It enables you to measure progress, to see how far you've come, and to stay motivated by visible results. It also attracts support, because people are more willing to join and invest in a vision that is well structured and clear. Every success story carries evidence of thoughtful planning, whether in business, personal growth, or creative endeavors. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve often lies in the ability to plan with intention and act with discipline. Ideas alone are seeds, but organized planning is the cultivation that makes them grow into lasting, concrete results. Decision-making quickly and firmly is one of the defining traits of successful people because it reflects clarity, confidence, and direction. Indecision wastes energy, drains time, and allows opportunities to slip away, but decisive action creates momentum and builds trust in yourself and in others. When you train yourself to decide without endless hesitation, you send a powerful signal to your mind that you are in control of your life rather than being controlled by circumstances. Quick decisions do not mean careless choices, they mean evaluating options with focus, trusting your judgment, and committing fully to the path you select. Firmness is what gives decisions power, because once you stand behind a choice, you eliminate doubt and free your energy to move forward. People who succeed rarely linger in uncertainty. They gather the best information available, decide, and then take consistent action. Even if mistakes are made, a firm decision allows faster learning and quicker adjustments than hesitation ever could. Success favors those who move with speed and conviction because the world rewards action, not delay. Opportunities rarely wait for those who hesitate, but they open wide for those who are prepared to act. Every decisive choice strengthens your confidence, and every delay weakens it. The habit of firm decision-making also inspires respect from others, as leaders are trusted not because they always know the outcome, but because they take responsibility and commit to their course. When you act quickly and firmly, you cultivate discipline, reduce fear, and create progress where others are stuck in analysis. It is this ability to move forward with confidence that sets achievers apart, making decision-making not just a skill but a mark of success. Persistence is the force that pushes you forward when talent alone is not enough, because talent without resilience often collapses under the weight of setbacks. Failure is a natural part of every journey, and it does not discriminate between the skilled and the unskilled. What separates those who reach their goals from those who fall short is not how gifted they are, but how determined they remain in the face of obstacles. Persistence is the steady refusal to give up, the unwavering commitment to keep moving even when progress feels invisible. It transforms defeat into feedback and turns obstacles into opportunities for growth. Talent may open doors, but persistence keeps them open long enough for you to walk through. When you persist, you build strength of character, discipline, and resilience, qualities that talent alone can never provide. Each time you rise after a failure, you reinforce the belief that no setback is final, and this belief fuels the courage to try again. Persistence creates momentum, and momentum compounds into results that often surpass raw ability. History is full of individuals who were not the most talented but became the most successful because they simply refused to quit. Persistence also trains the mind to focus on solutions rather than problems, to see challenges as temporary and surmountable rather than permanent barriers. It builds endurance, making you stronger with every trial you overcome. In the end, persistence ensures that failure becomes a stepping stone rather than a dead end, because those who persist eventually find a way. It is the invisible strength that outlasts disappointment and transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement, proving that persistence can achieve what talent alone never will. The mastermind principle is the recognition that when two or more minds come together in harmony, they create a force greater than the sum of their individual abilities. One person's knowledge and energy can achieve much, but when combined with others who share the same vision, determination, and purpose, that power multiplies exponentially. Aligned minds generate ideas, perspectives, and strategies that no single individual could produce alone. The mastermind principle is not just about working with people. It is about aligning with the right people, those who elevate your thinking, challenge your limitations, and strengthen your resolve. When you surround yourself with minds that share your desire for growth and achievement, you tap into a collective energy that accelerates progress and magnifies results. Problems that once seemed overwhelming become manageable, and opportunities that once appeared hidden are revealed through the synergy of collaboration. The energy created within a mastermind group fosters accountability, ensuring that each member stays committed to their goals. It builds confidence because you know you are not walking alone but are backed by the strength of others who believe in the same mission. Throughout history, every great leader, innovator, or empire builder relied on a circle of trusted minds to refine their vision and expand their reach. Success is rarely a solo journey. It is built on the combined effort of aligned minds working toward a common end. The mastermind principle turns isolation into cooperation and transforms ambition into collective momentum, creating a power so strong that it multiplies your ability to achieve what once seemed impossible. It is the unseen force of unity that fuels greatness and accelerates every step toward success. Fear is the silent thief that robs more people of wealth, opportunity, and success than any lack of talent, resources, or intelligence ever could. It creeps into the mind in subtle ways, whispering doubts, exaggerating risks, and magnifying obstacles until even the most capable person begins to shrink from action. Fear paralyzes decision-making, delays action, and convinces you to settle for less than you deserve. It tells you to wait for the right time, to avoid the unknown, and to play it safe. But in doing so, it traps you in mediocrity. Wealth in all its forms, financial, emotional, spiritual, requires boldness, courage, and decisive action, and fear stands as the greatest barrier between where you are and where you want to be. Conquering fear is not something you do once. It is a daily discipline, a practice of refusing to let fear control your thoughts or dictate your choices. Every time you confront fear and take action anyway, you weaken its grip and strengthen your confidence. The act of facing fear builds resilience, proving to yourself that you are stronger than the lies it tells. Fear thrives in inaction, but it withers in the face of courage and movement. When you choose to act despite fear, you create momentum, and momentum attracts opportunities, relationships, and resources that would have remained hidden had you stayed frozen. Fear is also an enemy of vision, because it narrows your perspective and blinds you to possibilities. It keeps your focus on what could go wrong instead of what could go right. To build wealth, you must train your mind to recognize fear, acknowledge it, and then move forward anyway. Conquering fear daily means choosing faith over doubt, courage over hesitation, and growth over comfort. The more you practice this discipline, the more fearless you become in pursuing your goals. Wealth responds to boldness, and fortune favors those who are willing to step beyond the limits fear tries to impose. Each day presents a choice: yield to fear and remain where you are, or conquer it and unlock the door to the abundance waiting on the other side. Success often disguises itself in the form of temporary defeat, testing how deeply you truly desire what you claim to want. Defeat is not a signal of failure, but a challenge to your persistence, a question life asks: how badly do you want it? Too many dreams are abandoned not because they were impossible, but because people quit too soon, mistaking temporary setbacks for permanent endings. The truth is that every great success story is built on moments of disappointment, rejection, and failure that could have stopped progress entirely if the individual had surrendered. Those who achieve greatness understand that defeat is part of the process, a necessary step that reveals weaknesses, teaches lessons, and builds resilience. Temporary defeat is not your enemy, it is your teacher. It shows you what doesn't work so you can discover what will. It forces you to refine your strategy, sharpen your focus, and strengthen your determination. Each setback carries within it the seed of an equal or greater opportunity, but only if you refuse to quit. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often as simple as persistence through the darkest hours. Success hides because it wants to know if you will keep digging when the treasure is buried deeper than you expected. When you embrace the truth that defeat is temporary, you remove the power it has to discourage you. You learn to see failure not as an end but as a bend in the road, redirecting you toward better choices and stronger outcomes. Quitting guarantees loss, but persistence guarantees growth and keeps the possibility of victory alive. The person who never quits transforms setbacks into stepping stones, turning every disappointment into part of the foundation for future achievement. Success does not come to those who stop when challenged. It comes to those who rise, adjust, and continue moving forward no matter how many times they fall. The hidden treasure of victory always belongs to those who refuse to quit. Wealth is first a state of mind, a way of thinking and believing, long before it becomes a number in your bank account. Every fortune, every empire, every success began as an idea formed in the invisible space of thought. The mind is the workshop where prosperity is created, because how you think about money, opportunity, and abundance determines how you act in the world. If your thoughts are filled with limitation, fear, and scarcity, your actions will reflect hesitation, missed chances, and self-sabotage. But when your thoughts are rooted in abundance, vision, and confidence, you naturally attract opportunities, take bold actions, and create results that lead to wealth. The wealth that appears in your bank account is simply a reflection of the beliefs you hold most consistently. Those who see themselves as creators, problem solvers, and capable of achieving great things act differently from those who see wealth as unattainable. A wealthy mind looks at challenges and asks, how can this be turned into an opportunity? While a poor mindset sees obstacles and says, this is impossible. The shift begins in thought, because thoughts shape decisions, decisions create habits, and habits build the outcomes of your life. Wealth also requires imagination and vision. Before any business is built, before any career rises, before any financial breakthrough occurs, someone had to see it in their mind first. The clearer the vision, the stronger the pull toward making it real. The subconscious mind responds to repeated ideas, so when you continually feed it images of abundance and success, it begins to guide your actions toward that reality. Wealth begins in the unseen because the external world is always a mirror of the internal one. By training your mind to think rich, rich in ideas, rich in confidence, rich in possibilities, you set in motion the process that eventually shows up as financial wealth. True prosperity is created twice, first in the mind and then in the world. Emotional control is one of the most powerful skills a person can develop because it determines how consistently and effectively you take action toward your goals. Emotions are powerful forces, capable of driving you forward or holding you back depending on how you manage them. Fear, anger, doubt, and frustration can cloud judgment, causing you to hesitate, overreact, or quit too soon. On the other hand, emotions like confidence, calm, and determination fuel persistence and clarity, allowing you to stay focused on what matters most. The difference between those who succeed and those who fall short often lies in their ability to master their emotions rather than be mastered by them. When you control your emotions, you gain the ability to respond instead of react. Instead of letting temporary feelings dictate your choices, you act based on your vision and long-term goals. This consistency builds discipline, and discipline is the foundation of progress. Success requires steady effort over time, not bursts of action followed by long periods of inactivity. Emotional control provides the stability needed to keep moving even when circumstances are challenging or when the initial excitement fades. It also strengthens resilience. Challenges and setbacks will always stir up emotional responses, but when you manage those emotions, you are able to think clearly, adapt quickly, and continue forward instead of being paralyzed by frustration or fear. Emotional control keeps your energy focused on solutions rather than problems, on opportunities rather than limitations. It gives you the power to stay calm under pressure, which not only improves your decision-making but also inspires confidence in those around you. The most successful leaders, entrepreneurs, and creators all share the ability to regulate their emotions and channel them into productive action. They know that unchecked emotions drain energy, while controlled emotions fuel purpose. By mastering your emotional state, you unlock the ability to act with consistency, clarity, and power, regardless of external circumstances. Emotional control is not about suppressing feelings. It is about directing them in a way that serves your vision and ensures you take strong, consistent action toward success. Creative vision is the force that allows you to see possibilities that logic alone cannot reveal. Logic works within the boundaries of what already exists, analyzing facts, data, and established patterns, but creative vision looks beyond the present and imagines what could be. Every innovation, every breakthrough, every work of art was once invisible to logic, because logic says, this is the way things are, while vision asks, what if they could be different? Creative vision is the gift of seeing the unseen, of painting pictures in the mind before they are built in the world. When you cultivate creative vision, you give yourself permission to step outside of limitations and explore opportunities that others overlook. Logic may explain how to get from one step to the next, but vision is what sets the destination. It is what allowed pioneers to cross oceans, inventors to change industries, and dreamers to create empires. Without vision, logic has no direction, because facts alone cannot inspire progress. Vision fuels imagination, and imagination gives birth to new realities. Creative vision is also practical power. It guides your decisions by showing you a future that feels so vivid you begin to act as if it already exists. This energy draws people, resources, and opportunities toward you, because others are inspired by someone who can clearly see and articulate a better future. It allows you to turn obstacles into stepping stones, because vision sees beyond the immediate difficulty to the ultimate outcome. Logic is important, but it is only one tool. Vision is what expands possibilities and pushes boundaries. Creative vision does not ignore logic. It uses it as a servant rather than a master. It begins where logic ends, turning dreams into blueprints and blueprints into reality. Everything extraordinary in life is first built in the mind of someone who dared to see beyond what logic alone could explain. Every great fortune begins with a single clear thought, a moment when an idea takes hold of the mind with such clarity and conviction that it refuses to fade. Wealth, success, and achievement are never accidents. They are born from the seed of thought planted in the soil of imagination and nourished by belief. That initial thought, when held firmly and given direction, becomes the foundation for everything that follows. Without clarity, the mind drifts, goals remain vague, and energy scatters. But when you focus on one powerful idea, it becomes the anchor that shapes your actions and decisions. A clear thought is the spark that ignites vision. It defines what you want and eliminates confusion about what you do not. This focus creates certainty, and certainty produces confidence. With confidence comes consistent effort, and consistent effort builds momentum. Every fortune, whether financial, intellectual, or spiritual, can be traced back to a single thought that someone refused to let go of, even when circumstances seemed impossible. It is not the number of ideas you have that determines your success, but the clarity and commitment to the right one. When a thought is clear, it inspires imagination, draws resources, and attracts like-minded people who resonate with the vision. It becomes a mental compass, guiding you through setbacks and challenges because you know exactly what you are moving toward. History is filled with examples of individuals who started with nothing but a thought, an inventor picturing a new machine, an entrepreneur envisioning a better way, or a leader imagining a brighter future. That thought, once solidified, became the foundation of a fortune that changed not only their lives, but often the lives of countless others. Clarity of thought is the birthplace of fortune, because the mind creates what it consistently focuses on. A single clear thought, held with determination, has the power to shape reality, opening doors that logic alone could never unlock. Definiteness of purpose is the guiding force that channels your energy toward a clear and meaningful destination. Without it, effort is scattered, time is wasted, and potential is left untapped. Purpose is what gives meaning to your actions, transforming ordinary tasks into steps of progress. When you know exactly what you want, every decision becomes easier because you have a reference point that determines whether something brings you closer or pulls you away. This clarity eliminates confusion and hesitation, replacing them with focus and conviction. Energy directed by purpose is far more powerful than energy spent aimlessly because it concentrates all your mental, emotional, and physical resources on a single pursuit. When you operate with definiteness of purpose, distractions lose their grip on you. You stop chasing every opportunity and instead pursue only those aligned with your vision. This creates consistency, and consistency compounds into results. It also builds persistence, because when your purpose is strong enough, obstacles do not discourage you. They become challenges that fuel your determination. Purpose acts like a compass, always pointing you back to your true path, even when storms arise or circumstances shift. It sharpens your creativity, inspiring solutions that keep you moving forward no matter the difficulty. Definiteness of purpose also attracts the right people and opportunities into your life. Others are drawn to individuals who know where they are going. Because certainty is magnetic, leaders, partners, and supporters gravitate toward those who project clarity and confidence. This alignment multiplies your energy, as the mastermind principle amplifies your vision through the contributions of others. Every great achievement begins with a definite purpose, a clear statement of what you want to accomplish and why it matters. The stronger and more specific that purpose, the greater the energy it unleashes within you. Instead of being pulled in countless directions, you focus all your strength on one, and this single-minded determination creates extraordinary results. Purpose turns effort into power, transforming energy into achievement and making success not just possible but inevitable. Discipline of thought is the art of training your mind to remain focused on what matters most, even when countless distractions compete for your attention. The modern world is filled with noise, temptations, and endless opportunities to drift away from your true purpose, but those who master the discipline of thought develop the ability to stay centered. Every great achievement requires sustained concentration, and concentration is only possible when the mind is disciplined. Without control, thoughts wander aimlessly, energy is wasted, and progress slows to a crawl. With discipline, your thoughts become sharp, deliberate, and powerful, cutting through distraction like a blade. When you discipline your thinking, you learn to reject negativity, doubt, and fear, refusing to give them space in your mind. You understand that what occupies your thoughts eventually shapes your actions, so you guard your mental environment with the same care you would guard a treasure. This discipline allows you to silence inner chatter, focus on solutions rather than problems, and hold your vision firmly even when circumstances try to shake it. Distraction loses its power because your thoughts are no longer driven by impulse but by intention. Discipline of thought also builds resilience. Challenges will come, setbacks will test you, and uncertainty will tempt you to give up, but a disciplined mind refuses to dwell on defeat. Instead, it looks forward, stays anchored in purpose, and continues to move in the direction of growth. This consistency of focus compounds over time, producing results that scattered effort could never achieve. Great leaders, inventors, and builders of wealth all share this quality, the ability to hold a single idea in their mind with unwavering concentration until it becomes reality. They know that the world belongs to those who can focus when others are distracted. Discipline of thought transforms your mind into a fortress, protecting your energy, sharpening your vision, and ensuring that every step you take is aligned with the success you seek. Opportunity often comes disguised as hard work, and because of this, many people fail to recognize it when it arrives. Human nature tends to seek comfort, convenience, and the path of least resistance, but true opportunity rarely looks easy at first glance. It often shows up as a challenge, a demanding task, or a responsibility that requires more effort than you initially feel ready to give. Yet hidden within that effort is the very chance to grow, to prove yourself, and to unlock doors that remain closed to those unwilling to labor. Hard work refines your skills and reveals your character, and in the process it prepares you for opportunities that only appear to those who are ready. The person who embraces work others avoid often discovers rewards others never experience. Opportunity favors the prepared mind, and preparation is built through discipline, persistence, and willingness to do what others see as difficult or beneath them. Every breakthrough, every promotion, every success story is rooted in a willingness to step into work that demanded more than comfort, but delivered more than imagined. Hard work also develops resilience. The act of persevering through demanding tasks creates strength and endurance, qualities that not only make you capable of seizing opportunity, but also of sustaining it once it comes. Too often, people dream of success while avoiding the effort that builds the foundation for it. They miss chances because the package looks like labor rather than reward. When you shift your perspective, you begin to see hard work not as a burden, but as the disguise of opportunity itself. Each difficult task is a test of commitment, a doorway to growth, and a chance to prove your readiness for greater things. Opportunity rarely announces itself with ease. It whispers through challenge and reveals itself only to those willing to put in the effort. Self-confidence grows every time you keep a promise to yourself, because each small act of commitment reinforces the belief that you can trust your own word. Confidence is not built overnight, nor is it something given by others. It is earned through repeated proof to yourself that you are reliable. When you decide to take an action, whether big or small, and follow through, you strengthen the foundation of trust within. Every time you keep that inner promise, you send a powerful message to your subconscious mind. I can depend on me. Over time, these repeated victories compound, creating unshakable confidence. Most people underestimate the power of small promises. Waking up when you said you would, completing the task you committed to, or following through on a plan you created may seem insignificant, but each of these moments adds a brick to the wall of self-belief. When you break promises to yourself, however, you weaken that wall, planting seeds of doubt and hesitation. Confidence comes not from wishing or pretending, but from evidence built by consistent action and reliability. Keeping promises also builds discipline, and discipline fuels self-respect. When you respect yourself, your confidence naturally expands because you no longer question your ability to act. This trust creates momentum, pushing you to set bigger goals and achieve them. Confidence grows in layers, first through small wins, then through larger challenges that you now feel ready to face. The world responds differently to a confident person. People are drawn to those who carry themselves with certainty, and that certainty is born from alignment between words and actions. By keeping promises to yourself, you cultivate integrity, which shines outward and inspires trust from others as well. True confidence is never about arrogance. It is the quiet strength of knowing that when you say you will, you do. Controlled imagination creates strategies that others miss because it combines the boundless creativity of the mind with the discipline of focus and intention. Imagination by itself can be a wild force, producing countless ideas without direction, but when brought under control, it becomes a powerful tool for solving problems, discovering opportunities, and creating pathways where none seem to exist. The greatest breakthroughs in history have come not from following what already exists, but from someone daring to imagine a new possibility and shaping that vision into a practical plan of action. Controlled imagination bridges the gap between dreams and results. It allows you to look beyond the obvious, beyond the limitations that most people accept, and see alternatives that others cannot. While many remain trapped in traditional thinking, those who harness their imagination strategically find ways to innovate, adapt, and lead. For example, in business, controlled imagination is what transforms a vague idea into a marketable product, a new process, or a winning campaign. In personal growth, it creates mental strategies for overcoming obstacles, reframing challenges, and finding strength in the middle of adversity. Where logic stops, imagination continues, and when logic and imagination work together, they produce solutions that are both visionary and practical. What makes controlled imagination so powerful is its ability to convert invisible thoughts into concrete strategies. When you deliberately focus your imagination on a specific problem or goal, your mind begins to generate ideas that align with your desired outcome. It is not daydreaming without purpose, but directed creativity with intention. This is how inventors design machines, how leaders inspire nations, and how individuals reinvent their own lives. By channeling your imagination toward purposeful ends, you create mental blueprints that guide your decisions and actions. Controlled imagination also gives you an edge because it allows you to anticipate scenarios that others overlook. While most people see only the straight path in front of them, a disciplined imagination sees the detours, the shortcuts, and the hidden doors. It develops foresight, enabling you to prepare for challenges before they arrive and to seize opportunities before they become obvious. This ability to think differently, yet with structure, creates a competitive advantage in any area of life. The key lies in practice and intention. By training your mind to imagine not randomly but in alignment with your goals, you sharpen your ability to innovate and strategize. Every great achievement begins first in the mind, and controlled imagination ensures that those mental images are clear, actionable, and rooted in purpose. It transforms wishful thinking into strategic vision, ensuring that you not only see possibilities others miss, but also know exactly how to turn them into reality. Surround yourself with those who elevate your thinking, because the people you spend the most time with influence the quality of your mindset, your decisions, and ultimately your future. Human beings absorb energy, habits, and beliefs from their environment, often without realizing it. If you are surrounded by negativity, fear, and small thinking, those attitudes will begin to seep into your own behavior. On the other hand, when you choose to spend time with people who challenge you to grow, who see possibilities instead of limitations, and who push you to aim higher, your own standards naturally rise. The company you keep acts as a mirror, reflecting back the level of thought you allow yourself to embrace. When you are around people who elevate your thinking, conversations are no longer about limitations, but about strategies, opportunities, and visions for the future. These individuals expand your perspective and help you see what you may have missed. They question your excuses and remind you of your potential when doubt tries to cloud your vision. Being in such an environment nurtures ambition because you begin to normalize growth, resilience, and progress. Just as iron sharpens iron, minds sharpen when they are challenged by other strong and inspired minds. Elevating your thinking also requires distancing yourself from those who constantly drain your energy or reinforce mediocrity. Not everyone in your life is meant to walk with you on your journey to growth. Some may be comfortable staying in the same place, and that is their choice, but if you allow their mindset to dominate your environment, you risk shrinking your dreams to fit their comfort zone. By choosing your circle wisely, you give yourself permission to think bigger and pursue goals with courage. Those who elevate your thinking often hold you accountable in ways you may not hold yourself. They expect you to honor your word, to act with integrity, and to push through challenges rather than give up. Their example inspires you to become more disciplined, focused, and resilient. Surrounding yourself with people who have already achieved what you aspire to do provides living proof that your goals are possible. Their achievements serve not as competition, but as motivation, showing you what can be done when persistence and vision come together. The truth is, no one succeeds entirely alone. Every great leader, innovator, or creator has had a circle of influence that lifted them higher. Whether it is mentors, peers, or like-minded friends, the right people will not let you settle for less than your potential. They will encourage you when you stumble, celebrate with you when you succeed, and most importantly, remind you of who you are when you forget your own strength. Choosing to surround yourself with such people is not just a strategy for success. It is a necessity for becoming the best version of yourself. Wealth flows to those who solve problems, not avoid them, because every product, service, and fortune in the world is tied to the resolution of a need or challenge. Money is simply a reward for value delivered, and value always comes from solving something for someone. The bigger the problem you solve, the greater the value you create, and the more opportunities you open for wealth to flow toward you. Avoiding problems may bring temporary comfort, but it never leads to growth or prosperity. True success belongs to those who lean into challenges, seek solutions, and turn obstacles into stepping stones. Every advancement in history is the result of someone choosing to face a problem instead of ignoring it. Inventors created light, flight, and communication technologies because they saw problems that demanded solutions. Entrepreneurs built industries by addressing inefficiencies, pain points, and unmet needs. Even in personal life, those who confront their struggles and actively find solutions develop resilience, resourcefulness, and confidence, qualities that naturally attract opportunities and rewards. Wealth does not chase those who hide from responsibility. It flows to those who have the courage to confront difficulties and transform them into breakthroughs. Problem solving also builds influence and trust. When people know you can be relied upon to provide answers and deliver results, they look to you for leadership. Opportunities multiply because you have positioned yourself as someone who adds value. In contrast, avoiding problems diminishes credibility and limits your potential, as others quickly recognize when you shrink from responsibility. The marketplace always rewards solution-minded individuals because they are the ones who keep progress moving forward. Wealth is rarely about working harder in the wrong direction. It is about applying your effort and creativity to the right problems. Those who avoid problems often waste time and energy complaining or blaming, while those who embrace problem-solving channel their energy into innovation and growth. The shift in mindset from "why is this happening to me?" to "how can I solve this?" is the dividing line between stagnation and prosperity. Every obstacle carries within it a hidden opportunity, but only problem solvers have the vision to see it and the persistence to act on it. The act of solving problems also creates compounding benefits. Each problem you solve increases your skills, strengthens your reputation, and builds momentum. Over time, you become more capable of handling larger challenges, and larger challenges lead to greater rewards. This cycle of growth continues to expand, positioning you to achieve levels of success that remain out of reach for those who avoid difficulties. Wealth, whether financial, emotional, or spiritual, is always drawn to problem solvers because they bring light where there is confusion and progress where there is stagnation. Choosing to solve rather than avoid is choosing the very path on which all great fortunes are built. The subconscious mind reflects the seeds you plant daily because it acts as fertile soil, silently accepting whatever thoughts, beliefs, and emotions you repeatedly feed into it. Unlike the conscious mind, which analyzes and makes decisions in the moment, the subconscious quietly absorbs patterns and turns them into automatic responses that guide your behavior. If you fill it with doubt, fear, and negativity, those seeds will grow into hesitation, self-sabotage, and limitation. But if you consistently plant seeds of faith, confidence, and purpose, your subconscious will nurture them until they bloom into actions and outcomes that align with success. What makes the subconscious so powerful is its neutrality. It does not judge whether the seeds you plant are helpful or harmful. It simply reflects back what you continuously deposit. Every thought you repeat, every belief you reinforce, every emotion you dwell on becomes part of its programming. That is why habits are so difficult to change, because they are deeply rooted in the subconscious. Yet just as bad habits can be programmed through repeated negative seeds, empowering habits can be formed through intentional positive planting. The subconscious cannot resist repetition. What you feed it daily eventually becomes its truth. This process explains why affirmations, visualization, and self-talk are so influential. By consciously directing positive thoughts and images into your mind, you are planting seeds that, over time, reshape the way your subconscious responds. For example, repeatedly imagining yourself succeeding creates a mental blueprint that your subconscious accepts as reality, guiding your actions to match that vision. Similarly, telling yourself you are capable, disciplined, and resilient plants seeds that grow into genuine confidence and persistence. The key is consistency. A single positive thought will not overwrite years of negative conditioning. Just as one seed does not create a harvest, the subconscious reflects what you continually nurture. Daily reinforcement is essential because repetition creates permanence. The more you expose yourself to empowering messages and environments, the stronger the roots of those seeds become. Over time, your subconscious no longer resists success. It naturally directs you toward it, because that is the garden you have cultivated. Understanding this principle puts responsibility in your hands. You are both the sower and the reaper. Every day you are planting seeds, whether consciously or unconsciously, and those seeds will bear fruit in the form of your habits, choices, and results. By becoming intentional about the thoughts and beliefs you entertain, you take control of what your subconscious reflects back to you. Your outer world is a mirror of the inner seeds you have nurtured. If you want to change what you experience, you must first change what you plant. The subconscious will always deliver the harvest that matches the seeds sown, and it never fails to reflect what you consistently feed it. Fear of criticism keeps more people poor than lack of ability because it paralyzes action before it even begins. Many individuals possess the skills, ideas, and opportunities necessary to create wealth, yet they hold back, not because they cannot succeed, but because they are afraid of what others might say if they try and fail, or even if they try and succeed. The fear of judgment is subtle but powerful, quietly convincing people to settle for less rather than risk disapproval. It whispers that safety is better than growth, conformity is better than innovation, and comfort is better than courage. This mindset robs more people of their potential than any genuine lack of talent or intelligence ever could. Criticism is inevitable for anyone who chooses to stand out, to pursue an uncommon path, or to chase dreams larger than the average. Yet many allow the mere possibility of negative opinions to dictate their choices. They stay in jobs they dislike, avoid starting businesses, or refuse to share their ideas because they worry about being laughed at, doubted, or rejected. In reality, criticism is a sign that you are moving, that you are daring to be different. Those who never face criticism are usually those who never take risks. But fear magnifies this truth into something paralyzing, creating invisible chains that keep people bound to mediocrity. The danger of this fear lies in how it attacks the imagination. Instead of visualizing success, the mind creates endless scenarios of embarrassment, rejection, or ridicule. The subconscious begins to accept these imagined outcomes as real, and action becomes impossible. Talented people, capable of achieving extraordinary results, bury their gifts because they cannot bear the thought of stepping outside the approval of others. Wealth creation demands boldness, creativity, and resilience, qualities that cannot flourish when approval is valued above progress. Ironically, the critics whose voices people fear are often not even paying attention. Many people hold themselves back because they imagine judgment that never comes, or they overestimate the importance of the opinions of those who do not contribute to their growth. The truth is, no matter what path you take, someone will always have something to say. Criticism is not a reflection of your worth, but of another person's perspective, often shaped by their own fears and limitations. Those who break free from the fear of criticism discover that it loses its power the moment they act despite it. Each step forward builds resilience, proving that opinions cannot harm you unless you allow them to. Success is never about escaping criticism. It is about learning to move through it, to hear it without being controlled by it. The wealthiest and most successful individuals in history were all criticized, doubted, or mocked at some point, yet they persisted because their vision was stronger than their fear. Fear of criticism is a thief that works silently, stealing dreams before they are born. Ability is abundant, but courage is rare. Poverty of action, not poverty of skill, is what keeps people trapped. When you learn to value growth over approval and purpose over comfort, you strip this fear of its power. The world rewards those who dare, not those who hesitate. Wealth flows toward those who act boldly, even in the face of criticism, while those who let fear dictate their lives remain stuck in limitations of their own making. Success loves speed. Act when inspiration strikes, because momentum is one of the most powerful forces in achievement. Inspiration is a spark, a sudden surge of energy and clarity that points you toward possibility. But if you delay, that spark fades. Ideas are fragile in their early stages. They can be crushed by hesitation, overthinking, or waiting for the perfect time. The truth is, there is no perfect time. There is only now. Those who succeed at the highest levels are not always the most talented, but they are quick to act when an idea arrives. They trust the energy of the moment and ride it before doubt has a chance to creep in. Speed does not mean rushing blindly without thought. It means respecting the urgency of action while the fire of inspiration is alive. Procrastination is the enemy of opportunity. How many people have had brilliant ideas, dreams, or goals, only to see them wither because they waited too long to begin? Every day that passes without action weakens your belief in the vision. Inspiration has an expiration date. It demands attention, and if you do not honor it, someone else will. History is full of stories where two people had the same idea, but only the one who acted quickly turned it into success. Acting when inspiration strikes also builds confidence. Each time you follow through on a thought or idea, you prove to yourself that you are decisive, capable, and committed. This creates a feedback loop where your subconscious begins to trust that when your thoughts magnetize people, resources, and opportunities, because the energy you hold in your mind shapes the actions you take, the words you speak, and the way you carry yourself in the world. Thoughts are not invisible whispers without consequence. They are forces that influence your vibration, which in turn attracts circumstances that align with them. When your thinking is focused on abundance, solutions, and possibilities, you naturally project confidence and clarity, and others are drawn to that energy. People feel inspired to connect, to collaborate, and to contribute. Resources begin to appear because your mind is tuned to notice them, and opportunities unfold because your focus has set you in harmony with growth. On the other hand, negative thoughts repel progress just as surely as positive ones attract it. A mind filled with doubt, fear, or scarcity broadcasts hesitation and uncertainty, and this energy discourages others from wanting to engage. Even when resources or opportunities are present, you fail to recognize them because your thinking blinds you to possibility. What you repeatedly dwell on becomes the magnet that pulls similar experiences into your life. If your thoughts are small, your results remain small. If your thoughts are expansive, your world begins to expand. The magnetism of thought works through both inner and outer influence. Internally, the beliefs you hold shape the decisions you make, and those decisions determine your outcomes. Externally, the energy you project influences how others perceive and respond to you. People want to be around those who radiate certainty, vision, and enthusiasm, because those qualities make them feel uplifted and empowered. Opportunities often come through human connections, and human connections are strengthened by the attraction of strong, positive thought energy. This principle is visible in every field of life. Entrepreneurs who think in terms of service and value attract investors, partners, and customers. Leaders who think in terms of vision and solutions attract loyal teams and innovative ideas. Even in personal relationships, those who maintain thoughts of gratitude, kindness, and possibility attract deeper bonds and richer experiences. The magnet is always active, silently pulling circumstances that align with the dominant patterns of thought. Training your thoughts to become a powerful magnet requires awareness and discipline. It means catching yourself when negativity creeps in and replacing those ideas with ones that align with the life you want to create. Visualization, affirmations, and intentional self-talk are tools that help direct your thoughts consistently toward abundance and success. Over time, these repeated thought patterns become your subconscious programming, and your magnet grows stronger, naturally pulling in the people and resources needed to fulfill your vision. Every opportunity you desire is already connected to you through thought. The clearer and stronger your focus, the quicker it finds its way into your experience. By choosing your thoughts wisely, you control what you magnetize, You are never a passive observer. You are always broadcasting energy, and the universe is always responding. When you think with clarity, abundance, and confidence, you set into motion an invisible but undeniable pull that aligns life's best opportunities with your path. The greatest riches are born in resilience, not comfort, because comfort breeds complacency, while resilience forges strength, wisdom, and growth. True wealth, whether material, emotional, or spiritual, rarely comes to those who remain in safe and easy conditions. It emerges from challenges, trials, and the determination to rise after falling. Comfort may provide temporary peace, but it dulls ambition and lulls the mind into believing there is no need to strive for more. Resilience, on the other hand, is the quality that transforms setbacks into stepping stones and hardships into lessons. It is the furnace in which greatness is shaped. Every story of lasting success is a story of resilience. Entrepreneurs who build empires face countless failures, rejections, and financial struggles before finding their breakthrough. Leaders who inspire nations endure criticism, doubt, and immense pressure, yet continue to stand firm in their vision. Even in personal life, those who rise above adversity develop character traits that comfort can never provide: strength, humility, and perseverance. These traits become assets far more valuable than money, because they equip a person to create wealth again and again, regardless of external circumstances. Resilience creates perspective. When you endure storms and survive them, you no longer fear the rain. Challenges stop being threats and start becoming opportunities to grow stronger. Comfort cannot teach this, because comfort shields you from the very experiences that expand your capacity. Riches born in resilience are lasting because they are backed by inner fortitude. Money earned in ease can be lost as quickly as it came, but wealth built through resilience is sustained by discipline, resourcefulness, and the ability to rebuild no matter what happens. Adversity also sharpens creativity. When resources are limited or obstacles stand in the way, resilience forces the mind to imagine new paths forward. Some of the greatest inventions, businesses, and works of art were born out of struggle, not luxury. Pressure stretches the mind and demands innovation, and resilience ensures that the pressure does not break you but refines you. Comfort never demands this level of thinking, which is why those who live only in ease often plateau, while those who endure struggle continue to rise. Moreover, resilience builds credibility and influence. People trust and follow those who have proven their strength in the face of hardship. A resilient person becomes a source of inspiration, demonstrating that success is possible even under the hardest conditions. Comfort does not inspire others, but resilience does, because it shows what human spirit is capable of when tested. This influence, in turn, attracts opportunities, alliances, and resources that further expand wealth. At the deepest level, resilience produces a kind of richness that comfort cannot touch, the wealth of character. It instills gratitude for victories, humility in success, and wisdom in failure. It teaches patience, sharpens vision, and deepens faith. These inner riches create stability and fulfillment, ensuring that external riches, when they come, are enjoyed with wisdom rather than squandered in ignorance. The truth is that comfort feels good but creates little, while resilience feels hard but produces everything lasting. The greatest fortunes of money, influence, and spirit are built not in times of ease, but in the crucible of adversity, where resilience transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies. Gratitude multiplies the wealth of both spirit and wallet, because it transforms the way you see the world, the way you act within it, and the energy you project to others. Gratitude is more than simply saying thank you. It is a state of awareness that acknowledges abundance even before more arrives. When you practice gratitude, you train your mind to focus on what is working, what is valuable, and what is possible. This shift in perspective attracts more of the same, both in intangible fulfillment and intangible prosperity. Wealth is not built by a mindset of scarcity, but by the belief that there is always more to give, more to learn, and more to receive. Gratitude unlocks this belief and allows it to compound. Spiritually, gratitude creates inner wealth by cultivating peace and contentment. A grateful mind cannot remain focused on lack because it is too busy acknowledging blessings. This mental state elevates energy and emotional well-being, reducing anxiety and fear while increasing resilience and optimism. People who live in gratitude radiate positivity, and that positivity magnetizes stronger relationships, deeper trust, and new opportunities. The wealth of the spirit grows with every act of thankfulness, as gratitude strengthens faith, sharpens focus, and reminds you that progress is always possible. Without gratitude, even material riches feel empty. With gratitude, even small victories feel abundant. Financially, gratitude influences wealth by changing how you handle resources and opportunities. When you appreciate what you already have, you take better care of it, use it wisely, and make decisions from a place of abundance rather than desperation. This mindset creates a foundation for attracting more wealth because you are demonstrating responsibility and appreciation for what is already in your possession. People are naturally drawn to those who value and acknowledge what they are given, whether in business, partnerships, or investments. Gratitude builds trust and loyalty, qualities that are essential for long-term financial growth. Gratitude also fuels action. When you recognize and appreciate every step of progress, you build momentum to keep moving forward. Instead of waiting until the end goal is reached to celebrate, gratitude allows you to feel successful along the journey. This sense of progress strengthens persistence, which is one of the most critical elements of creating wealth. It prevents burnout, renews energy, and keeps motivation alive even in challenging seasons. Wealth flows more easily to those who act with consistent energy, and gratitude is the fuel that sustains that consistency. Beyond this, gratitude multiplies wealth because it reframes setbacks. When difficulties arise, a grateful mind looks for lessons, hidden blessings, and opportunities within the challenge. Instead of seeing loss as the end, it is viewed as feedback, a stepping stone to something greater. This perspective prevents discouragement from turning into defeat and ensures that resilience remains intact. Gratitude turns what others see as failures into experiences that refine character and strengthen strategy, ultimately paving the way for greater achievements. In relationships, gratitude multiplies wealth by deepening bonds and opening doors. Expressing appreciation to others fosters goodwill, collaboration, and loyalty. People are more likely to support, invest in, and partner with someone who acknowledges their efforts and contributions. The wealth of a network, often one of the most valuable assets in life and business, grows through gratitude. What begins as a simple thank you often evolves into opportunities that would never have come through entitlement or ingratitude. At its core, gratitude is the bridge between current reality and future abundance. It creates inner wealth by shifting focus to blessings, and it creates outer wealth by attracting opportunities, strengthening relationships, and fueling wise action. Gratitude does not just add to your life, it multiplies everything it touches, ensuring that both spirit and wallet continue to grow in harmony. Riches are not just money, they are freedom, growth, and legacy, because true wealth extends far beyond the numbers in a bank account. Money is a tool, but its greatest power lies in what it enables: the freedom to live life on your own terms, the growth to continuously expand your potential, and the legacy to leave behind something meaningful for those who follow. Many chase financial gain thinking it alone will bring fulfillment, but riches without freedom feel like chains. Riches without growth feel stagnant, and riches without legacy fade the moment you are gone. True abundance requires all three working together. Freedom is the first and most essential layer of riches. It is the ability to choose how to spend your time, who to spend it with, and what causes to dedicate your energy toward. Financial freedom is powerful because it removes the limitations of survival and opens the door to possibilities, but freedom is not limited to money. It is also freedom of thought, freedom of creativity, and freedom from fear. When you are free, You can pursue dreams that matter, take risks that others avoid, and live a life shaped by purpose rather than necessity. Wealth without freedom is just golden captivity, but with freedom, money becomes a servant to vision instead of a master. Growth is the second dimension of riches. True wealth is never stagnant. It expands not only in financial terms but in knowledge, skills, relationships, and experiences. A rich life is one where you are constantly learning, pushing boundaries, and becoming more than you were yesterday. Money can provide access to education, mentors, travel, and opportunities. But growth depends on the willingness to use those opportunities to stretch beyond comfort. The wealthiest people are not just those with large accounts, but those with expansive minds and open hearts. Growth ensures that riches are not temporary but continually renewing, keeping life vibrant and purposeful. Legacy is the third and most enduring form of riches. Legacy is what remains when you are no longer here, the impact you leave on people, communities, and future generations. Money alone cannot guarantee legacy. It is the way you use your resources, time, and influence that defines it. Legacy may be the values you instill in your children, the businesses or institutions you build, the lives you touch through generosity, or the inspiration you provide by the example of your life. This form of wealth outlives material possessions, carrying your spirit forward through the ripple effects of your actions. Legacy transforms riches from personal success into collective progress, ensuring that your life's work continues to grow long after you are gone. When freedom, growth, and legacy come together, wealth becomes whole. It is not limited to material possessions, but expands to encompass the richness of choice, the satisfaction of becoming, and the significance of contribution. Money plays an important role, but it is never the entire picture. True riches are measured by how fully you live, how deeply you grow, and how lasting your impact becomes. Without freedom, growth, and legacy, wealth feels empty. With them, it becomes a source of endless abundance, fulfillment, and meaning. Every principle you have heard in this audiobook points back to one eternal truth: wealth begins within. It is not luck nor chance, nor circumstances that define your destiny. It is the thoughts you hold, the beliefs you nurture, and the actions you take with unwavering persistence. Desire lights the fire, faith fans the flame, imagination shapes the vision, and disciplined planning builds the path. Each setback is only a lesson, each fear only a shadow, and every step forward an affirmation that you are capable of more. The journey to riches, whether financial, spiritual, or in the legacy you leave, demands resilience, courage, and a willingness to act when inspiration calls. Surround yourself with minds that elevate you, protect your vision from fear and doubt, and remember that true wealth is measured not only in money, but in freedom, growth, and the lasting difference you make. This is not just theory, it is a blueprint. It is a call to awaken the extraordinary power within you. You already hold the keys. What you think, you become. What you believe, you create. What you persist in, you achieve. So as you close this audiobook, remember, the future is not waiting. It is being shaped by every thought you choose today. Go forward with definiteness of purpose, act with boldness, and carry with you the unshakable truth that riches, in every form, are yours to claim.